What's up, everybody? Elliot Harrison here. And did you know that when Dion Lewis plays for the Patriots, they're 16-0? How about that? Little Dion Lewis plays, Patriots go 16-0. Yeah, that fact doesn't really matter that much to me. But how about this one? When Tom Brady plays the Falcons, he's 4-0. When he plays Matt Ryan, he's 2-0. How about that? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, I don't really care about that one either. Can I tell you what I do care about, though? 10 facts that pertain to Super Bowl 51 that do matter. And I know a lot of you out there collect football cards, so I looked for a Tom Brady one. And right here, look what I got. I got the wrong kind of pack of cards. I got heavy metal cards. I got Black Sabbath. It's not Tom Brady. But I have some facts about Tom Brady, so we'll get to that in just a moment. But how about the other offense? Do you know that the Falcons scored on their first drive, a touchdown, mind you, not settling for field goals, in 8 straight? 8 straight. You see the graphic right there. The team that has scored first has won 36 out of 50 Super Bowls. Why is that important? Because you don't want this Falcons offense to get rolling. I know that New England's defense has been very, very good this year. Maybe the best in their history under Bill Belichick. But the point is, the Falcons offense, when it gets in rhythm, it is tough to stop by anybody. That's why they were the top scoring offense. Okay, let's go to my next fact. Bill Belichick is 6-4 versus number 1 offenses in his career. That's number 1 scoring offenses. Remember, the NFL ranks offense and defense on yards. We're doing scoring. It's kind of like a gas mileage argument. Do you want a Porsche or you want a car that gets 50 miles per gallon? You want the Porsche, right? If you understand that analogy, good for you. Here's the point on this graphic you see. 6-4 may not wow you, but if you're going up against the number 1 scoring team in the league, they're a pretty good football team. For you to be 6-4 means you've done a great job. How often do you face the top scoring offense in the league? Speaking of the top scoring offense in the league, how about the Falcons here? They have scored less than 23 points once all season. One time. There was a time in the league where you scored 23 points, you were pretty much going to win. And the Falcons have only been under that once all year. It's hard to understand how this team didn't go 13-3 or 14-2. That said, their defense obviously could be a little better. The point here, though, is consistency. And I think New England's going to have a hard time keeping this team under that figure, which means the Patriots offense is going to have to score. What's the Patriots defense going to show us? Well, how about this? They haven't given up more than 2 touchdowns in 10 games. Now, it's one thing for me to give you that fact and then show Ryan Fitzpatrick, which isn't really fair. But aha! How about against the Steelers offense? The Patriots have been consistent no matter who they've played for the most part. Only 3+ touchdowns 4 times all year. Yeah, Brock Osweiler, that may not have been the most impressive because it's the Texans offense or this 49ers. But the thing is when they played Pittsburgh in the AFC Championship, a lot of people pointed to that, and they shut those guys down too. Okay, let's go to fact number 6. Speaking of, in the last 6 games, the Falcons defense is only giving up 19.3 points per game. 19.3 points per game is enough to win in the NFL. That number is not supposed to jump off the page, but I felt like it was pertinent, and I told our producer I thought it was pertinent because it shows improvement. The Falcons' defense has been much maligned, or was early in the year. They've gotten to the point where I would say they are viable, and you saw that against the Packers. With the offense they have, all they need to do is hold the fort in the red zone, give up some field goals instead of 6s, and they're going to be okay. Or 7s if you're counting extra points. Okay, here's an extra point for you. When you look at the Falcons' passing stats versus the Patriots' pass defense, and you get into the weeds, there's some interesting numbers here. Now, we don't like to show graphics for 30 seconds straight, but I want you to read here. 9.3 yards per pass attempt. Okay, that was huge. Tom Brady was a full yard behind Matt Ryan in that category. You look at the Patriots' defense against quarterbacks that were pretty good, i.e. quarterbacks that had over a 90 passer rating, they gave up 7.9 yards per attempt. That's a high number. Against all other quarterbacks, 6.1. So what are all these numbers that I'm throwing at you mean? I didn't like finance in college. I still don't like accounting. So I don't like numbers that much. But in this case, it's so important because against top flight quarterbacks, statistically speaking, the Patriots haven't been as good. So if you couple that with the fact that the Falcons have been playing viable defense themselves, I think they're going to get theirs against New England on offense, and their defense holding the fort. Atlanta's got a 50-50 shot to win this game. Of course, I got 4 more facts to get to, so we shouldn't even be talking about predictions yet. Let's go to number 4. Batting cleanup here. Now, I was kind of bragging on the Falcons defense a minute ago, and they have gotten better. But the reason I'm not necessarily just saying they're a shoo-in to win this game is because they would be the lowest ranked scoring defense to win the Super Bowl ever. Let's go to number 3 here. Both teams scoring over 30. That has only happened twice, 2013 and 1979. Now, here's the thing about that. I don't like the Falcons to be able to score that much in this game. I don't really want to be making predictions yet because the game's not for a week and a half. But New England's scoring defense is there for a reason. It's at the top for a reason, I mean to say. And I think that, generally speaking, in the Super Bowl, you get off to slow starts. Now, you can point out Devin Hester's kick return, but if you look at a lot of the Super Bowls in the past, like the Greatest Show on Turf Rams against the Titans, they got off to a slow start. It's happened plenty of times before. I just don't think this game is going to be a 38-36 shootout. And again, the Falcons defense is playing better. All right, number 2 point. Julio is not the key. Say what? Julio is not the key. The Falcons are 3-4 when Julio Jones has 100-plus receiving yards. Why am I telling you this? Because you've heard much about his production. We saw what he did against the Packers. He's averaging a ton of yards per game, I believe the most in NFL history, by a receiver. But the point is that when he goes off, that doesn't translate to an Atlanta win. I actually think getting the running backs going in this game, Devonta Freeman and Tevin Coleman, is more important. Now, whether it's catching the ball with Tevin Coleman or running the football, either way, I think the Falcons running backs are more of a key than Julio Jones, although he does force you to respect him. Okay, and my number 1 factoid for Super Bowl 51 is that the top scoring defense, when facing the top scoring offense in Super Bowl history, which has happened 6 times, the defense, as you see on the graphic there, is 5-1. 5-1. The only time the top scoring offense ever beat the top scoring defense was 1989, Super Bowl 24. It was the 49ers. Joe Montana was MVP of the league and was actually probably at his best in his 16-year Hall of Fame career. So you're talking about the best quarterback of all time at the top of his game. And oh, by the way, he was throwing to the best wide receiver of all time, right in the middle of his prime, Jerry Rice. The 49ers had a 1,000-yard running back in Roger Craig. They had a good tight end. I just don't know that that's going to be applicable here. The other 5 games that I think are more applicable, those are the top scoring defenses winning. I'm talking about the 78 Steelers, the 1990 Giants, the 1984 49ers. 5-1 the top defenses are against the top offenses. And why I said that last line like Yoda, I have no idea. But I think Yoda would probably pick the Patriots in Super Bowl 51 because of that defense. I haven't made up my mind yet. What do you think? Leave a comment below.